So I love all kinds of movies, good movies, bad movies, everything in between. And there's a streaming platform called Tubi that seems to have a very wide selection of films, and I'm slowly working my way through them. So today I'm watching the 1989 film Warlock. I love 80s movies, so I'm hoping it's a little cheesy. I'm assuming it's about a warlock based off of the title. That seems very obvious, but I don't know anything else about it. I'm curious to see where it's going to go because I've seen definitely a lot of films about witches, but not so much about warlocks. I feel like they're not talked about as much. And I've seen films, about magical characters like wizards and witches, obviously, but not so much warlocks. So yeah, I'm very curious to see what approach they're going to take and if it'll be very different from those or if it'll be basically the same, but just with a warlock instead of a witch. But thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for movies you think I should watch, please comment below. And if you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. I don't like how this is starting at all. Why is he putting this cat in a basket? Oh, God. I hate it when animals are hurt. Is this Salem? Are we going back to, like, the OG witch trials? And they're looking very pilgrimy. I definitely recognize his name. I can't place it right now, but Julian Sands sounds familiar. Oh, that just feels so uncomfortable. Oh, my back hurts just thinking about that.
Thou art to be hanged and then burnt over a basket of living cats.
Oh, God, why are there cats? Come on, no.
Thus inclined.
Perhaps he'll save us both, Redfern.
Oh, extra rude.
I tracked you my last. Tomorrow shall you die. Never was there a brute more deserving.
This guy hunts witches? Look at the toe thing. Oh, God. I guess storms are brewing. Oh, look out, buddy. He's gonna escape. I wasn't expecting, like, to start off with, the original, Salem trials. Whoa! Disappears. Well, that's a fun effect. Okay, it's a human tornado. What are we doing? He escaped all the way to 80s California. Okay.
Recharge.
She's like, yeah, this guy just randomly appeared in my house, and now I'm wearing a silver jumpsuit and heading to work. Putting on lipstick and not driving carefully at all, lady. Oh, God!
A little while. I'll give you a lift downtown.
It's so awkward. Like, this guy literally just showed up, and they're like, you hungry? You want dinner? Like, he's not even talking.
Cassandra say something about England? I was over there in '86. I did this package thing with, like, some friends.
Oh, my God! He's like, my ring now. That took a graphic turn. This guy was being nothing but hospitable, and you just chopped his finger off for his ring. Yeah, maybe now it's time to question the stranger in your house. Oh. He's like, this guy's gonna die from blood loss from a pinky finger. Oh, no. Oh, my. I don't think he's kissing him. Is he also a vampire? Ew! He literally bit his tongue out. This is graphic. Oh my God. The sign says if you want fresher milk, you'll have to squeeze it yourself. So many questions. It's pretty ridiculous so far, but I'm enjoying it.
I mean, if he was coming, I was always going.
Did he frequent public parks?
He didn't dick little boys through bathroom walls.
Good gravy.
I really only do group sessions. Group sessions.
Is she flirting with him? So he just awkwardly strokes his crystal. Aww.
We wait. For what do we wait? For the true Zamiel to appear.
Yeah, I was like, this is so fake. Yeah, what's happening? She's like, I just want to get this guy out of here. I'm worried. I'm worried. Oh, God. The exploding crystal trick. Oh, my God. That's nuts.
Him.
Capital H-I-M. He's like, yeah, sign me up. Oh my god, I wasn't expecting that face transformation scene, but it looked pretty cool, and like with those super, super long exaggerated teeth as well. Oh, yeah, well, of course. Body count's adding up. Oh! They didn't show it, but I feel confident we know where that was going. Ew! He scooped him out! I thought he was gonna give him a weird crystal lobotomy, but nope, just collecting eyeballs. Bizarre, for sure. I wasn't expecting the gore, but it's very weird. But I love weird movies. I don't mean that in a negative way. Oh god. Oh god.
The one who wore these, did he bleed whatsoever?
Oh, rude. Cheese and rice. She's gonna have a heck of a day. Yeah, no kidding. Oh my god. And he ends up in the exact same place in time.
I know, but I can find the beast only if his blood was spilt.
I mean, he did bite off a finger. Yeah, there's a pretty bloody kitchen right there. Oh god, that's horrible. Oh no, and the body outline. Oh.
This may do.
She's like, I'm gonna dip out real quick because y'all are getting a bit weird.
You mean witch? Not witch. Like Samantha Tabitha, witch.
Like the Warlock.
Is that a, not Bejeweled, Bewitched reference?
This was Newcastle or a township of the Carolinas. I think I'm farther removed. Much farther.
That was your first clue that you made it to the 1980s? The police showing up? Nothing else set you off. Nothing.
Freeze! Police! Alright, watch your hands, watch your hands.
Oh, good night, sir. Yeah. Welcome to tasers.
Get away from this house.
You gotta watch?
Yeah.
Time me.
Yeah, I guess she probably doesn't have other options, but like, I wouldn't go back to that house, man. Just taking the essentials. You know, you never know what you're gonna need. Like 7 party gowns and a mannequin head. And that trombone shot as he's just like, let me show you my eyeballs that I stole. Girl, you shouldn't have gone back for the hair curlers. You had your chance, many times.
You've reached 911 police emergency. Please stand by. Your call.
You think the police would have stuck around for like maybe 5 minutes to make sure she got out of there, but here we are. He's holding them like to guide him as to like where to see and where to go. Just casually carrying around his eyeballs.
Rentum osculum tormentum. A decade twice over a day.
Now he's taunting her with poems? Was that a spell? What are we doing? What is this? Did he like age her or something with that spell? Because yeah, obviously her hair has grown a terrifying Rapunzel length. She was saying she never wanted to get older earlier, so And yelling at the old lady. Oh my god, the nails too! What do we got going on here? He's just rubbing salt on his whip? That did not sound right.
We choose.
Yeah, it's just one side.
Which side might that be?
The right side.
Oh my god. Oh god.
And how is it you're not there?
Oh, I never go. My dad hates all that stuff about Jesus and the 12 apostrophes.
He's like, I just want to play my football game, leave me alone. Although I feel like this kid's gonna be in trouble. Let's hope he doesn't take his eyeballs.
I was up in the hills hunting coyote.
Also, this mullet is amazing. Thoroughly impressive.
A boy over at trailer park was killed by one. They do that sometimes. Kyle will come down and drag off a small child. Boy is fairly well chewed up from what's being said. Skin taken clean off.
That is graphic. Oh my god. I'm guessing it wasn't a coyote. Oh gosh.
I'm tracking here. You think he killed a kid?
Of all ingredients used by a witch, the most coveted is human fat. And if that fat is cut,
Oh. Ugh.
there is but one purpose. One thing it will beget.
You listening?
Flying potion.
I hate that concoction is a thing. I think I'll just cook up this little boy's fat. Ugh. Horrible. Horrible. And it's interesting given that the title of the film is Warlock, and our Warlock in this is the bad guy, not the good guy. No, he's our villain. Oh, he's just drinking a cup of fat. That's... Nope. No thank you. He flies at 94 miles an hour. Is that what we're doing? Sounds like Darude Sandstorm. Whoa! Fresh from his cup of fat. Song or the sound reminds me of like those North Sea TikTok videos. Flame hand, that's cool. Haven't seen that in a minute. Okay. It does look a bit like cartoony, but again, I don't mean that in a negative way, and I understand the time this came out as well, but it still looks cool to me.
To me, a horse that sweats in the morning, cream that sours overnight. You know the signs.
Are these classic signs of a warlock? Okay, I wasn't aware. This is the first I've heard of him, and apparently this warlock has taken over a Mennonite farm, so sure, why not?
On my word, close and brace the stairs. You must open them only when I say.
She's just standing there. I can't even with this. She's got 2 pennies. This would be so wicked weird. Yeah, just casually put 2 copper pennies in your mouth. Again, I have not heard of these customs. Oh my god. So bizarre. Let me know in the comments if those are accurate, but it seems very weird. Like, I know each supernatural creature has, like, its lore attached. This is the funniest part of the whole movie. Is Pennymouth. Do warlocks also turn into bats? Oh, I'm guessing this is where another part of the Bible he needs was hidden. Okay, interesting. That's a cool effect.
But the pages were to be kept on hallowed ground, not scattered about the landside like...
Where's a warlock?
He's fled.
I don't get it.
With the pennies in her mouth.
It was you yourself. When one life too many, you did steal.
Oh, stab to the gut. Oh, slicing him. Cheese and rice. He's not wasting time. It's like I traveled 300 years to be able to do this to you. Oh, but he's got the pages protecting him. Interesting. Oh! Right in the weather vane. Okay, the flying effects aren't the greatest, but we'll go for it. Gotta make some choices. Ooh! It's like, let's go into this barn instead.
Why'd you let him go?
It's gonna spear him from here, really? That's what we're going with? Steady. Steady. Yeah, obviously, you could just take it off. Bye! Oh! Tagged him. Oh my god, this is what takes down this powerful warlock. So ridiculous. I love it. I don't think I've seen a movie where someone dies from weather vane, but first time for everything.
My goddamn bracelet!
She's like, let's not forget the real reason we're here. It's the eyeballs instead.
Bay! Look not in his eyes! Bay!
Oh my god! Oh my god! He's just bleeding from his eyes now. Cheese and rice. Goodbye, sir.
Helped you?
No.
So weird. She can spike it into his footprint? Okay, that's kind of cool. I thought he meant like his actual foot, and I was like, how is she gonna catch him? But that's interesting, you can do it into the footprint. Oh, that's where his head was, I think? Yeah, okay. Oh, good night. Oh, found him. This old woman with pennies in her mouth and a hammer trying to get her bracelet. Oh my god. So weird. You gotta run like your life depends on it, man. Come on. The slowest getaway ever. So the nails to the head didn't do anything.
I'm not
Should
listening.
this name be uttered in reverse, all creation will undo. 'Twill reverse.
Well, that's terrifying. Oh my god.
Come on, check it with my bag. It's okay.
Just at the airport, she's like, I'll just check this knife, no big deal.
No.
Look, Buster, I'm in charge of the safari now, and if I say you're gonna...
Oh, look who else is making their way to the airport. For guys that are like 300 years from the past, they're totally cool with airports, flying, no questions asked. I mean, I guess he does fly, so maybe it's not that big of a mystery to him, but still. You're probably gonna be on the same flight. Excuse me, I just need to put my weather vane into the overhead compartment.
Looks like you just made it. Telling me. Can I take that for you?
For my rotting corpse.
Now if only they had a horse. Oh, it's not gonna work. Also, the smoking on the plane. Oh, God. Couldn't the Warlock just fly himself to Boston? Does he not have enough strength to go that far? I don't know. It doesn't seem like he would need a plane. He's just hanging out with all the luggage, burning people's stuff. What a jerk. It's gonna be a lot of spells, a lot of curses from this flight.
You shall not rest until God himself is thrown down, and all of creation becomes Satan's black hell besmeared farting hole.
How do you really feel? Okay.
I'll say good evening.
Quite the entrance. Such a dramatic entrance with the house shaking and removing the door.
Tell me, Stuart, lest your children be born slugs of cold flesh.
Oh my god, that's graphic. It's like I literally have your future children in my hands, so no pressure. It's his tombstone? Oh, that's so bizarre. And he buried it with himself. Oh, man.
Giles is a nice name. What? You expected to live forever?
That'd be so weird. Now he knows the exact, like, date and year he dies. Oh, God. Opening up your own grave. How messed up is that?
Hurry!
That sound. Literally out of his dead hands. Oh my gosh.
Doesn't hurt a bit. Just a couple more.
Just breaking off his fingers. Oh my god. Ugh.
Redford?
Hi.
I think he's here.
Whoa! Cue the flying warlock! Oh my god, attack from above. Whoa.
Come out, Redfern! Show yourself!
Oh my god. He's taking her shoes? What is going on? Oh! Payback! Oh my god, that's graphic. Literally he's taking a nail. Oh! That would hurt so much. Oh my god. Oh, oh. Whew. That makes my heart hurt. Ah.
Don't you dare!
Believe it, Redford. Her death will make all others seem like a pink tea party.
If you're able.
Now who makes the hollow offer? You give up nothing.
The background is clearly like just a photo, like none of the lights are blinking or anything.
The magic.
Having waited so long, it could prove wonderfully good to linger on it.
Ooh! Oh, okay. Oh, oh, bonked him right in the bits. Oh, into the wall.
Tell me how it feels.
Oh, just melting his face on this hollow ground. Oh, God. Oh, he's gonna pull your tongue out. That's his go-to move. Oh, okay, goodbye.
He who makest whole the glorious goal of Satan's unborn soul!
Whoa, that's cool. Oh, is that his own body? Oh, that's so creepy and weird. With this lightning going on behind him as well, yeah.
I know thee!
Oh! Right in the neck.
Try salt water, my brain!
Great line! Yes! Oh, you can see his veins! Oh my god, yep, good night. That's so cool, with his veins. Oh, oh, and now he's on fire and exploding. Oh my god. Man on fire. Oh, Yuck. As it just like slowly disintegrates. Ugh. Oh! One last look. Oh, skull scrunch. Good night. Oh my. He just like tornadoes himself away back into his coffin.
Shoot.
She's like, I guess it's up to me now to do something about this. Nobody else is here. Is she not gonna separate it again? Or are they trying to like set it up for a sequel? I don't know if there's sequels or anything, but yeah, let me know in the comments. That does not seem deep enough. Oh, are they like the salt mines? Like it's not snow, obviously, because she's not dressed for winter in any capacity, but I'm guessing that was salt. Yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, I was wondering if the Warlock ever had a name. Like, I didn't think they had ever mentioned one, but you think they'd give the main character a name, but here we are. So that was my first time watching the 1989 film Warlock on Tubi. It was super weird. I didn't find it scary or anything like that, and it was interesting having our main character Warlock, who I feel bad that his character doesn't even get a name. We just know him as Warlock, which is his title, and he's our villain, like he's our, you know, bad guy throughout the film, and then we have Redfern, you know, trying to go after him and stop him, and I wasn't expecting time travel to be involved either. Like when we started off in Salem, I assumed that would be a precursor to, like, I didn't think the whole movie would take place in Salem. I assumed it'd be a precursor to something that would happen maybe like 20 years later, or we're just setting up maybe like the history of witches. I wasn't sure, but no way was I expecting it to time travel, you know, 300 years into the future to 80s California, you know, from Salem. So yeah, and this Bible cut into 3 pieces, trying to put them together to try and make this thing that could, you know, undo creation, which is a very interesting concept and something I hadn't really heard of before. Like, obviously them collecting stuff I'd heard of, but the fact that it would undo creation was interesting. And, you know, he's got to travel over to get these pieces, so we kind of have our timeline for the film laid out that way. We know what his, you know, mission is. They set that up pretty early on. And I recognize Julian Sands' name, but I can't place him from anything at the moment. And let me know if any of the other cast went on to do anything. I didn't recognize them. I apologize. You know, sometimes it's the 80s movies and I don't know them until if they would have acted in something recently, they would have aged, obviously, and I might not recognize them. I didn't recognize the names other than Julian, so let me know in the comments, you know, what I would know them from. The girl who played Cassandra reminded me of Mackenzie Davis, who's, I know, an actress that's, you know, in current day, and I know it's not her, obviously. They both looked very similar, so that's what it just kind of reminded me of. For the effects, I don't know if they were using, you know, very early CGI or some animation to be involved. I did see some like matte painting listed in the credits as well, because that New York skyline, you know, for the big finale at the cemetery, that did not look real. None of those lights were moving. Nothing was, you know, blinking. When we have Cassandra in the water, that looked realistic, but, you know, when they've got those wider shots, it did not look real. But again, I'm not watching this to poke holes in things that are, you know, over 35 years old at this point. So it's always interesting watching these older shows, and to me the animation of the flame coming out of the Warlock's hand didn't take me out of it. I thought it was a cool effect, and it kind of reminded me of some, you know, 80s kids movies, to be honest, but again, it didn't take anything out of it. It was still terrifying to have this thing come, and he was like ripping out people's tongues and taking out their eyeballs, and not a ton of blood or gore for a movie either. Like, we definitely had a few scenes, but nothing compared to what they were talking about, like how that little boy on the swing died. We didn't see any of that. And there was even a few scenes with people dying that were off camera, like we knew what was happening obviously, but we didn't see it. So I don't know if they were trying to keep the ratings down or just for budget or whatever, but yeah, him walking around with the 2 eyeballs in his hand was super gross and weird. And then we know he collects things, and that's how he kind of, you know, keeps the spell going. I don't know if there are sequels or remakes or anything like that. Let me know in the comments. Obviously, we know Cassandra is alive in present day, and she buries the book in salt, and hopefully that's enough to ward off whatever happens. Let me know if there are sequels and if you think I should watch them. Usually the first one is the best, so I feel like the rest would be pretty cheesy. There was definitely some cheesy lines in this one as well, and to have Cassandra's character aging because of this curse added an element that I thought was like supposed to be comedic, but I found it was just more ridiculous and found it funny that way. I don't know how, like, it's just, you can't look at her and not think it's funny. And anytime she had the pennies in her mouth, I just couldn't. It's too ridiculous. I was laughing, but I don't think for the right reasons. I'm assuming they would have done that for comedic effect, but I was more like laughing at it instead of with it, if you know what I mean, because I was like, this is just so ridiculous. Like, what are we doing? And again, I still enjoyed the movie for sure, but it was definitely ridiculous. Them running around with this weather vane, like that would go on an airport, like, come on. Like, some of those things where you're like, there's no way that would happen. And her just unplugging the machine to get free tickets out of the, like, okay, sure. But I'm glad Cassandra was able to get her bracelet back, and she didn't end up dying, obviously, or having the whole movie with her aging. Like, she came back, you know, towards the 3rd act of the film, and we were able to have her back to her normal self, and she was actually able to help Redfern, and supposed to just being like, things are difficult for me. And that scene with her chasing the train, I was like, this is the slowest getaway, you know, I've ever seen. And of course she's able to come back. The flying scenes, I felt like some of them, they definitely used wires, which is pretty normal, and then a few of them I feel like were CGI, like the shot where he's flying out of the top of the barn and just shoots off, like, even his proportions don't look accurate, and that shot of him when he like shoots out of the top of the barn and flies away, and somehow Redfern is able to take him down with this weather vane. It's like, this guy has got the best aim of anybody. And when we did some close-ups, like I said, I definitely feel like they were using wires, and then, you know, had some effects for some of the other stuff, but it didn't take me out of it. I still found it entertaining and definitely ridiculous, and I just kind of expect that movies, you know, that are from this time aren't going to have the effects we're used to with modern movies, but again, that didn't ruin the experience for me or anything like that. The soundtrack was pretty ridiculous. There was a lot of like really intense music, and I didn't recognize any like popular songs, you know, from the time or even before, so I'm assuming their budget was pretty limited for music. Yeah, let me know in the comments what the budget was. I was wondering how this would compare to witch movies or anything like that, and I think with him being the villain, obviously we've seen, you know, evil witches and stuff throughout film history as well, but I wasn't expecting the Warlock to be bad, and both Redfern and the Warlock seem to adapt to 80s California very well. Like, how did the Warlock know where the airport was? Like, was he just following them? And he can also fly, so I don't know why he just didn't fly himself to Boston. Maybe he couldn't go that far, I don't know, but the fact that they're like, oh yeah, here's an airplane, and it's just like, you haven't seen any new event like in 300 years, and no comments are made about this whatsoever. Definitely some cheesy lines. I think my favorite one is at the end when Cassandra, you know, stabs the Warlock in the neck with the salt water and says that line. It's just like, yes, this is such a fun ending to this ridiculous movie. When we had the psychic's, you know, face transformation scene, super cool, and it still looked decent. Obviously, if it came out today, it would have been, you know, updated, but, you know, with the super long teeth, and I wasn't expecting that at all. It looked pretty clean. You know, she puts her head down, comes up, and obviously it has this different appearance, and stealing the eyeballs was by far one of the grossest things from this movie, and eating the cup of fat from the little boy as well. Ugh, no thank you. I'm not sad we didn't get to see that. And the fact that we have Redfern seeing his own grave at the end, and I don't know if he saw the year or if it was just the fact that he saw his own grave and realized, like, oh crap, like, I'm playing a bigger part in this than he thought. And yeah, we obviously know he's gonna pass away. He's not gonna live 300 years. And at the end when Cassandra like tries to kiss him, I was like, where is this going? Like, you know he's not gonna be here. Like, he's not gonna hang out in 1980s California. Like, this isn't where this story's gonna go. And Obviously we see him, you know, go back into his own coffin in that like tornado. I don't know why that was his transition, but that's what happened. He just tornadoed himself out of there and went back in time. And the fact that he can also time travel, we didn't really talk about that at all. Like, only him and the Warlock could do that. Like, no one else from Salem showed up randomly. Like, it was just the two of them. And, you know, obviously it was very convenient for them to show up at the same year at the same house. Like, but for the sake of the movie, obviously that had to happen. And even he brings with him his little like witch compass that directs where he needs to go. I like the effect of the book, the pages all kind of putting themselves together at the end. That almost looked like it was done practically as well, so let me know in the comments if it was or if that was CGI, but that looked decent and like a cool effect to show how everything would, you know, come together through this magic. I did like that we got to learn a little bit of Redfern's backstory. Obviously we see him as, you know, in that opening scene where he's talking to the Warlock, and I was like, okay, maybe he's a witch hunter or something like that, considering it was Salem as well, and I thought maybe that's where we were gonna go. But, you know, we find out he had this lady, Marianne, who the Warlock killed, and now he's, you know, on this revenge story, basically trying to kill the Warlock. And we have that scene with Cassandra putting the nail in his footprints, also very cool. I mean, also very convenient for the movie, but still cool. I hadn't really seen anything like that where he would be affected by his footprints, and somehow he survives a nail to the head. And, you know, her obviously having the foresight to think of the salt water when he throws her into the river. But when we see the Warlock putting the nails into her foot, oh god, that one made my stomach turn. It would just be so painful. And he just puts one in, okay, moves like a half an inch over, puts another one in, like, oh my god, it's just like the weird form of torture. It would just be excruciating. Overall, I enjoyed it. It was definitely ridiculous and some cheesy lines, but honestly, I would probably watch it again. Like, I wouldn't be mad about that, not right away, but if it was on, you know, at least it's entertaining. And I don't think there's remakes. I haven't heard of any remakes, and what I would know the cast from. It looked like it was an original script as well. It didn't list any source materials, and I didn't recognize the writer and director's name, so yeah, let me know what else they've done. But thank you so much for watching, and as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. Oh, why is he putting this cat in a basket? It's a human tornado. What are we doing? He escaped all the way to 80s California. This guy's gonna die from blood loss from a pinky finger. Like 7 party gowns and a mannequin head. Now he's taunting her with poems? Was that a spell? What are we doing? He flies at 94 miles an hour. Yeah, just casually put 2 copper pennies in your mouth.